Well, that would be polite. Sit down on the bench and have a good one-on-one.
Well, you know what? I've got a 2 o'clock meeting back at headquarters, so...
Well, you always talk to the Irving media. Why don't you talk to me, sit down, and just have a little chat?
Well, you know, Charles, I found that hasn't really worked so well for us over the years. Not that I'm not willing to try again, but... you know, it's I find that sometimes...
I could be a little bit too rude?
Yeah.
Too harsh?
No, not too harsh, but not...
How you doing?
Not very polite sometimes, I find. And
do I have good reason not to be polite? What happened?
Well, listen, you know, I think everybody's perspective is their own perspective, and...
be labeled as a pedophile, you know, that's a little bit harsh, huh? You know.
I think that you know the truth of the matter there, Charles, and you're the one that keeps bringing that.
Well, that was right when Rob Costello said Charles LeBlanc was exploiting children.
Yeah, you know that wasn't the case.
What?
And you've made a story out of that and perpetuated that story.
But it's true, I got the papers that I was, you know, they raided my place. You know the whole story. Now, what about you hired Shane Henderson as a cop from the Miramichi police, the one that investigated my case that suggested this false charge of assault?
I don't believe that it was a false charge of assault. I think the charges were approved. The matter was investigated and it was approved by the Crown, and you went through a fair due process through trial, and the judge found that there wasn't enough evidence to substantiate charges against you, and so the court process played out as it's supposed to. So
what?
I think Shane did his job in bringing the matter before the courts, and you know, Charles, we've hired about 80 new police officers since the early 2000s, and we've hired a lot of good men and women, and I would expect that the newest hires will be no exception.
How come we can't get? How come the police, Fredericton police, never even asked me what happened and that confrontation? You just contacted the Miramichi police.
Yeah, well, Charles, again, you know, you've made it very well known in the public that you want nothing to do with the Fredericton Police Force and that you don't trust their abilities. So we were just accommodating your wishes in making sure that another agency investigated the complaint, so that you wouldn't think that there was any hint of anything.
Why not talk to me over coffee? Say what happened. Never mind go to the police station.
Yeah, you know,
we gotta trust our local police force.
Yeah, well, you've made a very public record of saying that you don't trust us, and which is really unfortunate because we try to serve and protect everybody equally, but. You know,
by the way, this is turning out good.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm glad that it's.
It's a slow process.
Well, it is a slow process, you know, and it takes time to build trust up.
Okay.
And trust is a hard thing sometimes for people.
And I'm Scottish. I don't. How can I love to see you go like this. I forgive you and then move on.
Well, Charles, you know what?
You know,
I have a very, very forgiving heart, and I harbor absolutely no ill will against you at all. And you know, I would like to see us have better relations.
It's a slow process.
We've got about 60,000 people that live in the city of Fredericton, and you know, I expect all of my officers to serve everybody equally, and you would be no exception.
No exception.
No exception.
What about the park patrol?
Keep coming with me because I got a 2 o'clock meeting at the station. Except don't jaywalk.
Sorry. No, I was going to say they give you a ticket. What about the rat patrol, the park patrol?
Oh, Park Patrol. Do you know that I started my career on Park Patrol?
I know that very well.
Yeah,
very well.
So, you know what? They're young people. They're young people who some of them have an interest in going into policing.
Yeah, but what about going for the bicycling? Going after people that were the most obese people in Canada.
Our Park Patrol are young people who have an interest in some cases of going into policing. Some of them are doing like their criminology degree.
Yeah.
It's a good opportunity for them to learn how to interact with people and develop good people skills. And they're given a mandate, and they're actually sworn in as bylaw officers. And one of the things that we ask them to do is to make sure people are wearing helmets.
They go after people. We're the only city, Chief, around in New Brunswick that goes after people because they don't wear a helmet. That's the law since 1995 by Frank McKenna. Quebec, Ontario shouldn't they exercise 18 years below. 18 years below, you got to wear a helmet.
It's kind of, you know, it's kind of like wearing a seatbelt. It's kind of like a police officer wearing body armor.
But that's across Canada.
These are preventative preventative measures.
Everybody's laughing. And I see me and you with the blogger jacket. That's what the heck.
We should have a little hug.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus Christ, please. Anyway, I know it's all right. They'll be checking the blog tonight.
But in all
seriously.
Charles, about the bicycle helmets. Listen, I ride a horse, I wear a helmet. I ride a bike, I wear a helmet. I drive a car, I wear a seatbelt. I'm a police officer, and I wear body armor, and it's for protection. And when you're in policing, and we go to tragic accidents, and people have died as a result or had serious injuries, that
you remind me of a politician. You walk fast because I gotta hurry up because you're almost there. But what about if you see a guy running a bicycle with 2 feet of snow, no helmet? Wouldn't that be the time to stop them and say, listen, it's not safe, where's your helmet? The walking trail, having people stop riding 5 miles an hour, come on, isn't it common sense?
It is, and I think you see that probably a lot of those are conversations and warnings, and when we have repeat people who continue to break the law, then officers. But it's
the law that says it's go after certain people. Let the people exercise. Let them. We don't want them to get fat and obese.
I'm all out about the exercise. I'm getting my exercise today. Charles?
Listen, no, it's good. It's good. When are we going to sit down on the bench and really talk? Never mind this Irving media.
Yes.
There's no editing here.
Yes, I know.
I can read between the eyes. Get that camera out of my face. Hold it.